Have you ever felt so betrayed by God that you wanted to take matters into your own hands? There was a devoted man who served a saint for years. But one day, his worst nightmare came true. His little child passed away. Heartbroken, he went to his master for comfort, expecting tears. Instead, the saint simply said, "By God's will, it is excellent." Those words didn't bring peace, they brought fire. Blinded by grief and rage, the devotee decided his master was cruel. So he picked up a sword, hid in the bushes, and waited. But just as he was about to strike, a tiny, painful accident stopped him. He didn't know that this small pain was actually a miracle in disguise. What happens when the thing you hate the most is actually saving your life? Let me tell you a story that will change how you see your pain forever. To understand his anger and this powerful life lesson, we have to go back 1 year. Once there was a saint who lived a very simple life. He was peaceful and full of spiritual wisdom. But one day, in a moment that felt like a spiritual awakening story, he heard a voice from the heavens. The voice said, "O saint, exactly 1 year from today, your neck will be cut by a sword." Now, think about it. If any of us heard this, we would panic. We would tremble with fear about our uncertain future. But the saint? His reaction was a true mindset shift. His eyes filled with tears of gratitude. He folded his hands and said, "Lord, what mercy. You told me 1 year in advance. Now I can spend every remaining second remembering your name." He was so focused on God and inner peace, a true example of peaceful living, inspiration, that he didn't want to waste time in long conversations. So he decided to use just one sentence to answer everyone. That sentence was, "By his will, it is excellent." The villagers were confused by his unshakable faith. They were witnessing a real-life, faith-based story. If a farmer said, "Maharaj, we had a record harvest this year, we are rich," the saint would smile and say, "By his will, it is excellent." If someone ran in and said, "Guruji, there is a famine, people are starving," he would calmly say, "By his will, it is excellent." Good news or bad news, his answer never changed. People thought he held a deep secret about trusting the universe, but the saint was just accepting everything that came from God. But then, the tragedy happened. This was the ultimate test of faith in God. The devoted follower, the one who served him day and night, came crying one evening. His voice was breaking. He said, "Maharaj, my little child died today." The saint felt deep pain inside, but out of habit, the same line came out. "By his will, it is excellent." That was the breaking point. The devotee's heart shattered. He felt lost and hopeless. He thought, "I gave my life to serve you, and for my dead child, you say it is excellent?" Anger took over his mind. He forgot the wisdom to be wise, not right. He wiped his tears and made a decision. He thought, "Tomorrow morning I will cut his neck. Then he will know if it is excellent or not." The next morning, it was still dark. The devotee took a sharp sword and hid in the bushes near the river path. He knew the saint walked there every morning before sunrise. He waited. His hands were shaking, gripping the sword. He saw the saint walking towards him, closer and closer. The devotee raised his sword, ready to jump. But suddenly, the saint stepped on something. A long, sharp nail pierced straight through his foot. Blood started flowing. The saint fell to the ground, crying in pain. "Oh Lord, oh Lord." A moment. That would explain why bad things happen to good people. Seeing his master in pain, the devotee forgot his anger. He dropped the sword in the bushes and rushed out to help. He cried, "Maharaj, you are bleeding. You are badly hurt. How can you still say it is excellent?" The saint smiled through the pain. He looked at his foot and said, "My son, exactly 1 year ago, God told me that today I would be killed by a sword. My neck, Yen, was supposed to be cut. But look, this tiny nail stopped me. Because of this injury, death could not reach me. A small wound saved my life, so by his will, it is indeed excellent." The devotee froze. His whole body trembled as he realized this was a God's guidance story. He fell at the saint's feet, crying uncontrollably. He confessed, "Guruji, the one who came to cut your neck was me. The sword is still in the bushes." The saint gently touched his head and said, "My child, you didn't come. It was death that entered your mind. But look at God's plan. Even death was defeated by a simple nail." My friends, sometimes God's plan looks like a problem to us. We cry over a lost job, a broken relationship, or a failure. But we don't see the big picture. That problem might be saving you from a disaster you cannot see. This is the power of divine timing and a life transformation lesson. Whether this wisdom comes from a Western parable or resembles a motivational Hindi video or Hindi motivational content you've seen, the truth remains universal. Be faithful, not fearful. This is a story for personal growth. So in every situation, trust the process. This is your motivational story and inspirational story for today. If you believe that God's plan is always better than ours, I want you to write in the comments, "By His will, it is excellent." Inspire someone today. Thank you for watching.